Hello, everyone. My name is David Reimherr, and I'm with Magnificent Marketing. And today I'm here to talk about the greatest marketing challenge I've ever had to overcome. And I was posed with this question. I had to really think about how I was going to answer because I've been presented with so many crazy challenges and so many obstacles get put in front of you as a marketer that it's hard to just decide on the number one thing. So I decided to pick two. And the first marketing challenge that was the biggest challenge I feel that I've had to overcome was when going from a primarily sales-driven role to having to develop a full-scale marketing plan and a branding plan for our company. And it was challenging. I remember still just having this glazed look on my face and glazed feeling that, where do I start? Like, what do I do? Like, oh my God, I've just been, pounding the phones, 10, 12 hours a day for the last 8 years, what do I do? And I just didn't really know where to start. And so what I decided to do is just started to read some more. For a while there, I was paralyzed for a couple days. And but when I started to get going, and I ended up ordering some books from some people that seemed like they know what they were talking about, and then I ended up actually settling in on some experts that I've learned from, and I actually did another presentation, kind of giving some shout outs to these people that I've learned so much from. Just to speak on a few again: Ann Hanley, Jay Baer, Joe Polizzi, Michael Brenner, Marcus Sheridan, Andrew Davis, Kevin Knievel, Gina Dietrich, Michael Stelzner. So these people have just helped me really sculpt, not personally, but from seeing everything that they had to say and from learning from them, I ended up really settling in on a plan that I felt was best. And, I looked into other case studies that other companies were doing, and I developed a plan that I became just uber confident in, and I just knew to the very bottom of my soul that this was the best thing to do. And that brings me to the second part of my biggest challenge, and it was selling what I believed in to the owner. And I know that I'm not the only person who's gone through this. I've been to conferences where I've seen entire presentations built on convincing the higher ups to go with a plan, and particularly a content marketing plan, because it's, fairly, at least it was 6, 7, 8 years ago when we implemented it, was a fairly new thing. And, it's kind of an outside the box idea, but I had to get buy-in. I couldn't move forward if the boss didn't give you the go ahead with the funds and the plan to do everything. And I was just relentless. I wouldn't stop. I showed him case study after case study. I showed him, the potential return on investment, showed him what other companies were doing. And I definitely don't encourage other people to do this, but I basically threw a temper tantrum. Now I had a very unique relationship with the owner and my previous boss, and we grew the company together, and I that kind of leads to a brotherly type of relationship. But I couldn't, at first it didn't look like he was going to give me the go ahead and let me move forward with what I knew was the right way to go. And I remember just that one specific day where I basically just went off and said, we have to do this, or else what am I doing here? Why am I putting in all this work and all this effort, and I'm the vice president of sales and marketing when we're not going to go the direction of the person who knows the best, which in my opinion would be the marketing department of the company. And I was relentless. I just wouldn't stop, and I ended up getting my way. And I don't know if the owner really realizes this, but if I wouldn't have been so adamant and so relentless about that day, I don't know for sure that that company would be in business. And that's not so much a credit to me and or my talents or our team's talents or anything like that. It's just, the state of the printing industry at the time and the way things were going. If we wouldn't have implemented this plan to bring in so many inbound leads eventually, down the road, then I really don't know if, the printing company would still be in business. And, but, to his credit, to my boss's credit, he eventually did go ahead and give way to the person who had put in the marketing blood, sweat, and tears. And not all owners would have done that, and there's probably a ton who haven't. So I definitely do give credit for him, finally do caving, but it didn't come without a ton of fighting and scraping and clawing and showing him what the direction is to go. So what I have to tell you today, and if you take anything from this, my goal today is to just encourage you to be relentless. Be relentless with your passion for learning. Be relentless with your beliefs once you've done your studying and your homework to form those beliefs. You can't just wing it for a little bit and then say, hey, this is what I believe. I mean, you gotta put in a lot of work to get to that point. You gotta put in a lot of fact checking. You gotta put in a lot of educational learning. You gotta compare that to what other experts are saying. But once you're there, be relentless with your beliefs once you form some solid ones, and be relentless with your boss. When you know it's the right way and you're just 100% positive, be relentless, with them. Push it through. Don't just show them and let them say, no, I'm not sure, and just whimper away. I mean, you're the marketing expert. You're the one who knows the direction you should go. So be relentless with your boss. Learn, get your beliefs, and then get your way. But I will say, save the temper tantrums for another time. I don't encourage other people to do that. It worked for me this one time in this very unique situation, but go ahead and save the temper tantrums. So, I hope I've encouraged, you marketers out there, first of all, the ones who are just getting started, to know that we've all gone through this. We've all kind of had that glazed feeling, not knowing where to start. But once you dig in and once you get going, you're going to have that passion to push things through. And I hope I've shown you at least one example where it's resulted in a grand success. That's it for today. And if you would like to talk to us about any of your possible marketing needs, you can reach me at david@magnificent.com. And I hope all you marketers out there are relentless. Have a great day. Bye-bye.